Yo, what's up? It's your boy Philly Dark One for more hip hop news, TV, and Shannon Sharpe situation ain't seeming to get any better. And Tony Busby is doubling down. He's brought a second accuser in on the whole situation with Shannon Sharpe. We gonna get into it right after this.
Wanna be with me?
Papi, you know I want that heat.
Now you wanna be with me?
Papi, you know.
So we all know, as early reported, that Tony Busby has brought forth Jane Doe that has leveled allegations against Shannon Sharpe, and she's saying that Shannon Sharpe has sexually assaulted her on multiple occasions and also threatened to choke her out. Yeah, y'all heard me. He's threatened to choke her out, and they have him on recording. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now we got a second accuser that's coming out that's saying that she dated Shannon Sharpe back in 2002, and she's saying that she said no to Shannon Sharpe and he was aggressive and he basically, took it, and she had to break up with him about it. But we got some video footage about this. But first, we're going to give y'all some commentary behind this, and this is sad to say for the embattled YouTuber and sportscaster Shannon Sharpe, who was on his way to signing a deal worth at least $100 million. And now for these allegations to come out at this time, it puts everything into jeopardy. And all I can say is that it doesn't look good for the brother. It doesn't look good for him, with multiple people coming out making these statements, and they're not ashamed to say it, and they're standing up and they're speaking their truth. It's going to be really hard for the podcaster to get his fair shake in court when it comes, because now it's in the hands of public opinion, and they're definitely, siding with these individuals because, of the YouTube movement, and especially with P. Diddy and everything that's going on with him. And then you got R. Kelly, and it's a lot going on right now, and this is the worst time ever. Not that there's a good time in time to do something like this, but I don't see this turning out well for the podcaster Shannon Sharpe. But we wish him well, and we're gonna drop this video and tell us what y'all think about it. Is Shannon Sharpe in trouble after this has come to light, or can he beat this rap? Can this thing be put behind him and he can go on to a successful career and signing this $100 million contract? My opinion, no. I think this is going to really, crush his career. I don't think he's coming back from this. And when he stepped down from ESPN, I'm quite sure Disney didn't just ask him to. They forced him to, because they don't want something like this on their radar. They're family company. ESPN is all about, sports and everything, but they don't want this on their, docket with the whole situation with him. But y'all, like I said, y'all let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll get back to y'all after we drop this video.
In actually the press room at the Broncos, April of 2002. And we dated until the 2010 incident. And then it came to abrupt end because I wanted, we were arguing and he was threatening me and stuff like that after, but I didn't see him again after he me. So I had said no, and I said no even though I was thinking that. And so it was the hardest. Yeah, this is too hard.
Now y'all see what I mean? How compelling this second accuser story is, and it's hard to, think otherwise in the court of public opinions. And right now, Shannon Sharpe is losing, and it's sad to say because, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but right now this man is guilty until proven innocent. We all know Big Unk. We want to say Big Unk is innocent. We screaming to the rooftop, Big Unk is set up. Like when you hear about the whole story with the first accuser, how he wanted her to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but she refused to. So Big Unk was onto something, but he instead to push forward with that relationship. That was really, mindless thinking on his part, especially with the youth of this young lady. Like, that should have been the last thing on his mind, is to go forward with this relationship, to be with her, and she was so young and, in age underneath of him. And the fact of the matter that, when you hear the rest of the story about how he wanted to, impregnate her and have a baby, by his next birthday, if they were still together, Shannon Sharpe really started, to have feelings for this first accuser. But with this second accuser coming out now and saying how he was aggressive with her and how he took it from her and he wouldn't take no for an answer, all of this stuff is really compounding what the first accuser said. But not only that was compelling, y'all gotta hear how Stephen A. Smith, spoke on Shannon Sharpe. Now, we all thought that they was close buddy, but let me tell you something. In the world of Hollywood, it's cutthroat. Every man is for himself, really, out there. You got to get your money, you got to get your bag, and you got to, look out for your own. With that being said, I want y'all to listen to this video and listen to this hot take on Stephen A. Smith speaking on Shannon Sharpe and how Shannon Sharpe lawyer is handling this whole situation going forward. Check this out, y'all.
As Stephen A. Smith, a comrade, associate, friend, brother, black man, everything.
It was important for me not to be selfish. I'm not going to, of course I've spoken to him.
What did he say?
I'm not going to tell you. But I feel about Shannon Sharpe the way I feel about Ryan Clark, the way I feel about Marcus Spears, the way I feel about any of my teammates at ESPN. I mean, we have a great group of folks, and it's a genuine friendship with one another. And I got a lot of love for Shannon and getting to know him. I haven't known Shannon Sharpe the way I feel about Ryan Clark, the way I feel about Marcus Spears, the way I feel about any of my teammates at ESPN. I mean, we have a great group of folks, and it's a genuine friendship with one another. And I got a lot of love for Shannon and getting to know him. I haven't known Shannon all of these years the way that I've known the others. I've met him in passing and stuff like that, and then, we became friends once I went and got him and brought him on board at ESPN. And I'm very proud that I brought him on board because I think he's done an exceptional job for us. His effort was contagious. He never cheated us. He always came on the air, always ready, and doing his job and making sure he contributed to the ratings, which he did in a very profound fashion, and I'm incredibly grateful to him for that. When I saw the story come out, obviously I was alarmed like everybody else. It's 9:58 on Monday morning. We got a show at 10 o'clock. And then the story comes out about the allegations against him. That was very alarming. I didn't know until 2 minutes before the show. And so when you're dealing with something like that, it takes on a life of its own. And on one hand, you got to be very, very sensitive to him from the standpoint that he is profoundly claiming his innocence. But then in the same breath, you're looking at the stuff his lawyers put out, and you like, that ain't helping. And then you're looking at what you know about Disney. See, that's where I come. Because none of these cats have worked for Disney as long as I have. And is as familiar and intimate about the inner workings of Disney and how they think the way that I am. And so I'm now imagining what Disney's going to ultimately do. So although I was hopeful that it ultimately would not lead to him being off the air, I knew it wasn't going to go down like that because I know Disney.
Right.
And so, again, I can't say all the things that I've heard, all of the things that I know based on my conversations with him and my conversations with the executives. What I do know is that he has emphatically and profoundly proclaimed his innocence from a legal and libel perspective in terms of, not assaulting or doing anything like that to anybody. He is emphatic that he is innocent of those things. But the court of public opinion is what the Disneys of the world and others concern themselves with. That's a more immediate issue. And unfortunately, that has worked against him this particular moment in time. So I'm hopeful this will all go away. I'm hopeful that I'll have my brother back on the airwaves talking football.
Your brother.
Next season. I don't know if that's going to happen or not because we don't know what else we're going to learn and what Disney's going to be comfortable or uncomfortable with or anything like that. But you also have to remember themselves with. That's a more immediate issue. And unfortunately, that has worked against him at this particular moment in time. So I'm hopeful this will all go away. I'm hopeful that I'll have my brother back on the airwaves talking football next season. I don't know if that's going to happen or not because we don't know what else we're going to learn and what Disney's going to be comfortable or uncomfortable with or anything like that. So I have to remember with a relay, I'm hopeful that I'll have my brother back on the airwaves talking football next season. I don't know if that's going to happen or not because we don't know what else we're going to learn and what Disney's going to be comfortable or uncomfortable with or anything like that.
Man.
But you also have to remember where the relationship really originated in terms of he and I. He was pushed out at Fox.
Yeah.
And I know there were folks there that wanted that to be the end of his career, and I wasn't going to let that happen because I remember how folks tried to do it to me in 2009. And I was blessed and fortunate to be a brother in a position where I could do something about it, where I didn't have that luxury of having somebody there for me like that.
Oh, okay.
And so for me, anytime you mention him now, you're thinking about me to some degree because I brought him on to ESPN, and that just elevated his profile and assisted in Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, and all of that being taken to another level. And so knowing that, that's why I felt it was important to go on my YouTube show, my podcast, the Stephen A. Smith Show, and just let everybody know I'm not here to speak of innocence or guilt from a legal or a civil situation. That's for them to handle or whatever. I know the brother tells me he's innocent. I believe him. All right. But most importantly, I'm his friend.
Right.
And that man has done, he's helped me immensely. It ain't just me doing for him. He's done for me as well in terms of his performance and his dedication to his craft.
Right.
And how he's helped us in terms of the show itself and how he helped us continue to explode. And I'm incredibly grateful to him for that. And I know that he does not trust easy and that the honest conversations that he's had with me, he wouldn't have with just anybody. So I'm going to honor that, and I'm going to make sure that he knows and that everybody knows that no matter how things go down, not to say that he would rely on me, but if he ever chose to, anything that I can do for him as a friend, I will do.
Beat niggas in your ear, bitch. Wanna be with me?
Papi, you know I want that heat.
Now you wanna be with